if that trend is going to continue, we could see a much, much closer affair here in Japan versus Peru.
I see over the games playing better and better in the Peruvian, and potentially who wins this game is almost into the semi-finals. So tough match for both, and a massive athlete test for the players to be the first semi-finalists of this FIFAe FYG Game Cup 2024. But now the kickoff for the Peruvian. Nice defense by Good Games with the ball now.
Yeah, Peru in the all-white strip, and we have the current group leader Gu San. Gu Games in the Japanese blue. Very fitting for the studio setup we have here. It's almost blending in. Lovely for branding. But while we speak about this game, we'll keep an eye on it. Of course, we have Belgium versus England running concurrently. Joe, although he can't qualify for the knockout stages, can still play spoiler here. If he's able to take a point or two from any of his last two games, oh, it could really mix up the top here. So we'll be keeping a close eye on those games as they progress. For now, Japan, Peru is where our attention will lie. Peru's starting really strongly, and it's a question we asked Alex. Will he be able to move up the gears in the latter stages of the group stages?
Let's see, it's working so well, the squad of Japan. Good games now with the 1-2 passes. Minamino with this potential stop.
With a chance.
Look at the pass.
Suzuki tries to square it on the 20th minute. Still alive here for Japan as well. Minamino and Suzuki still there. But ideally, you're looking for Kubo to get involved. There he is on the ball. Lovely pass to Sugawara on the overlap. He is dispossessed though off screen, and Peru will survive that attack from Japan.
Yeah, next to Takefusa, Kubo and Minamino of the main forward for the Japan teams with Ueno, it's really important to take a look on Endo, the DMF anchorman, the best role for a DMF into this game, and not every single team has that role into his squad, so that's why it's really important the Japanese working with Endo and Morita, box-to-box, CMF, jumping to the attack any single time, joining as a secondary line, is working perfectly for Good Games. For the moment, he's not finding solution, but he's really into the game.
Here is Peña for Peru, ready for it.
Oh, look at that.
Really nice starting strategies, and started the game off well, but you always have to be wary of Japan.
This is a nice one.
Really nice chance here, maybe to Cueva, but really was able to cut out in the vital moment. There was Gu-san. Rei Noguchi, of course, runner-up. We keep saying it. He's probably the most experienced at going far in international tournaments, despite the World Finals last month being his first ever international tournament. Made it to the final there, was one game away from being world champion at his first bite of the cherry. Half-time rapidly approaching. The ball stayed in play quite a lot here in Japan versus Peru.
Lapadula.
The cross looks nice to Lapadula, but can't get his finish away. Good pressure from the Japanese defense.
Yeah, ready for it. Need to avoid especially Tomiyasu, no, the center back, which is well, so difficult to go through. So Abdul was expecting the pass, and he rather turned and looking for that shot. That was really, really close.
Well, we're back over to Japan and Peru at the
the chance is in.
At the top of Group A. That's a dispossess for Peru!
Yes!
It's ready for it, into the lead. Peru 1, Japan 0 to take the advantage at the top of Group A. That could be a vital goal to see who can qualify for the knockout stages.
Are you seriously? Have you seen the same as me? It's a mistake from Good Games, conceded that quick counter from the Peruvian that drastically made him perfectly into the net.
It's a collector's item for Japan.
Yes, it's it, because now we put in on top of this Group A, the Peruvian, with that virtual victory in this game. It takes a long time until we have the whistle of the referee at the end of the match, but it's once again Good Games. I don't know, but probably the 4th or 5th time that he start losing his games. So, well, it's time for React Champ. It's time to begin on the path of this game.
That's one thing we've seen in the past from Japan here in the group stages. Happened twice against Belgium. He's able to respond and come from behind. But we're in the second half here. Minamino looking to try and feed Suzuki. But really, really good start from Peru.
We saw on top of the screen that the players send the players to be all-out defense for the kickoff, and then once the kickoff ends, you move forward to a standard or at least one blue bar in the case of the Peruvian, because it's leading. He tried to be more conservative, concede at least not few chances to the Japanese. But 30 minutes left, still open the chances for both, and we'll see if the Peruvian finally can take a point against the Japanese, and why not 3?
In the first heat, of course, Japan bested Peru 3-2. For now, it's advantage
for
to
first
Peru.
time.
We got about 20 or so in-game minutes to go. In the other game, it is at half-time. Belgium 0, England 0. So some good adjustments by Joe. But for now, we will see. What can Japan conjure up? It is Minamino to Suzuki.
Yeah.
Minamino there just can't quite.
Those low through passes are really difficult to perform. Now the counter is Carrillo Diaz with the ball, the Peruvian. Look at the run, Carrillo Diaz!
And the goalkeeper's come. He cannot make contact with the ball. And about 15 in-game minutes to go. It is Peru 2, Japan 0.
Now, yes, 2 goals up, and now it's a massive score for the Peruvian, Harry. We haven't seen between tough opponents having that much score in your favor. Look at the chance. It was the keeper leaving his box, leaving his goal, to try to have a less angle for the striker to go through.
It's always a gamble when you do that, isn't it, Alex?
Under the legs, it's Carrillo Diaz putting the ball into the net. Wonderful counter. And that massive, massive score for the chances of the Peruvian that now will be closer to get into the semis.
Well, unsurprisingly, given the amount of time left.
I love his formation. We haven't mentioned that before, but that 4-3-3 is really more packed in the center. Now he switched back. He will say, you play with 5 center back. I will go now with 5 center back. 5-4-1 for the Peruvian. 5-2-2-1, yeah. But he needs to be safer. Makes longer Harry his action, gain some time, make the time still running, because the Peruvians so close to go to the semi-finals.
15 in-game minutes to go between Peru and Japan, and the clock ticks down so quickly here on eFootball Mobile. In the other game, we have Belgium 0, England 0. So as that stands,
it's not that bad for the Japanese.
Maybe starting to drop some points. We'll keep an eye on that as that progresses. But for now, we'll see if Gu Games
another one
can survive the onslaught
Carrillo,
for
look at the speed.
Peru. We have Diaz in one-on-one again. He scored last time, but he's taken it too far. 10 minutes to go, and it could have been 3-0.
Yeah, the angle, he was running and he was having each time less and less space to perform a nice shot. And this time only the post was able to stop that massive chance again for the Peruvian, for Carrillo Diaz.
The problem for Japan is the more chances come for Peru, the more the ball is up the wrong end of the pitch, which, as you can see in that top left corner, once these substitutes are finalised, it's ticking down so quickly. I think we've got about 5 or so, plus a little bit of change in game minutes until the full-time whistle. Elsewhere, we have Belgium starting to turn the screw against England. Still 0-0, but for now, 5 to go. And it's Japan in possession. Kamada to Sugawara.
We haven't seen good games having a hard time that he's having right now into the match. He has suffered some goal, he has conceded some goal, but is completely dominated by the Peruvian. Now, with that mistake, he put into the game the Japanese. Nakamura with the ball.
The through pass. No. He has to score just purely based on the amount of time left. And Peru in possession. He can tick down the clock here. This one is going to finish. Peru 2, Japan 0. And it's a big 3 points for Peru at the top of Group A.